Track Wrestling with Gary Mayabb of USA Wrestling, developmental coach for Greco-Roman, and we just concluded the 2019 Cadet World Championships. You guys had 5 wins. What are your takeaways from this tournament?
Obviously, feel for the young men that worked hard. They did a great job of training. Now it's for them it's a process of going back and getting where their next challenge will be. But obviously we feel disappointed for them. We all wanted more, but now it's a process of breaking down what we did and what we did get accomplished, and then how to move forward from this point.
How do you move forward?
Well, I think a lot of it is, great group of coaches. I think that they worked very hard to get where they want to be. I'm gonna kill it. And I think that now it comes down to what we've got to revamp, and some of that's just, I think expanding on what we already did, but moving forward with it again, getting back into some of the basics that we did accomplish, but taking it to a next level. And part of that is, I think that we did some mixed training a year before, and I think that really helped us. And the calendar didn't work out this time, but next year we'll have to make it work out.
What did the kids say about wrestling internationally in this tournament?
Well, I think that, again, we had 3 of the 10 that had wrestled internationally before, at least been overseas. And now what we've got to do is we've got to work within that group and try to improve them. But they thought that it was obviously a great experience, but we're always looking more than experience, but it's just that first time.
Greco-Roman wrestling, it's still trying to get its foot in the door as far as just popularity, and it's popular across the world. How do you translate that into the United States to get it to that next level of popularity?
Well, I don't know. I think we start small. I think that we have that core group of coaches right now that are very passionate about it, and the athletes. I don't think we have to sell it to them. I think we just need to expand it a little bit more to where it can catch momentum.
Building momentum into next year's Cadet World Championships, how do you take what you learned here and take it to 2020 for the Cadet Worlds?
Well, yeah, you nailed it. I mean, first of all, next year I think it's going to be a big year for us. The Olympic year, we're going to have our top 6 athletes there, but a lot of emphasis will be placed on those 6. The rest of our energies will be poured into our future. And cadet, junior, U15 coming back in with that. But right now I think it's about mixing a lot of those training sessions and enlarging them, getting back out to the States again, working with the approach that we internationalize our athletes. I don't know that we've been at that very long, you know what I mean? And I think that we can do a better job of that. All of our coaches, I know myself, I know I can, and now it's a matter of us working to get better that what international wrestling looks like. And again, our officials association has been very open to it, and I think they prepared us for this moment that we had here. I think our officials are on. I think they've worked hard. We've got to do some of that same kind of stuff as far as taking more of the film work, and also just it comes down to getting more of our athletes overseas, and we have more of that happening right now than ever before.
Now that we've gone through the tournament, what's your take on the rule changes that they sprung on you right before the tournament?
Well, I mean, I think the rule changes actually were in our favor. And, did we capitalize enough on it? No. And there's a couple of things that we've already looked at that was fairly glaring of what we can adjust that we're just going to have to emphasize more. But we're going to have to do it inside our training. And we're going to have to put training environments that allow that to come forward a little bit more. Like, for example, just boundary work. We've got to do more boundary work. And again, some of it's technical, and some of it is just getting a better strategy. I mean, some of the things, getting an athlete to walk back out and sprint the first 20 to 30 seconds of that second period, especially if they hold true to what they're talking about here, where we're going to decrease passivity calls down to almost nothing in the first period, and then, but still have some caution and 2 showing up. And, if we mix that together and we start to understand it more, then we're going to push for And like yesterday, we had a couple of times where we had an athlete with a head down. We didn't challenge him at that point. And that way the referee didn't make another call. And so those are those things that we've got to continue to work with one another on, to where we build our training partners with that same mentality. And what we talked about, early last week, where we just got to pick up our cyclical rate of fight. I mean, we've got to change our pace a little bit.
How would you describe the difference in energy systems between freestyle and Greco?
Well, I mean, there's a consistency of pressure in Greco that I think is not seen as much, as well as the fact that most of our points are behind us. So we have to move to a point where we're going to get our feet close to your feet in the most upright position, shoulders over hips as we can, to create lift and power, and then rotation. And then put it over top of the shoulder or straight over the top. And that part is very hard to get athletes to make, because again, when we're talking 7 basic skills, I mean, that's the top 2 skills, of the chart, back step and back arch. And along with the fact that you have these gaps in space in freestyle wrestling, because you're attacking into that space. You're creating a space that you can attack back into to get a little bit of leverage and power to go through that. Where in Greco, we're in almost constant contact, and pressure is the key. It's one of the things that we worked really, really hard on with our gut wrench offense, but now we got to go back and even improve it more.
Gary Mayabb, thanks for the breakdown.
Thank you.